I am live. Good evening, guys. My name is Jader Salazar. I'm the founder of Black Label Closers. This is an organization dedicated to help people become very skillful in the art of selling high ticket. We dedicate all of our efforts in helping you grow ever more. You can sign up for school, skool.com, and become part of the community. Jumpstart the conversation. Any questions you have, any inquietudes, you can drop them there, and I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. You can sign up for the free course, okay, and that's going to help you begin the journey into this wonderful, wonderful industry called high ticket sales. Also, if you want to become a little more aggressive, we have a $1,000 value program for $97. I understand that there's a recession, people are a little stranded, buy money, and we all need some help, right? So there you go. We can help you there with a $97 program valued at $1,000. Always do that. And also, if you are really aggressive, you can become my partner, start selling high ticket, and make 50% of the profit. All right, so 50% for you, 50% for Black Label Closers. Go to blacklabel-closers.com, and you can find all about us and watch the testimonials. You can watch the testimonials here as well, and also you can take advantage of the open house training every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Accommodate that according to your time zone. So if you're in Pacific time, that's going to be 4 p.m. If you're Central time, that's going to be 6 o'clock. And if you're Mountain time, that's going to be 5 p.m. Mountain time. All right. Without further ado, our topic. So the title of tonight's event is what is reverse psychology in the art of high ticket sales? Why is it so important? So that's the title, and we're going to break it down into two different sections. And so one section is the qualifying process. We're going to talk about why qualifying people is important. The second bullet point here is control the conversation by asking questions. So let's start. Let me just set the tune with the title, which is what is reverse psychology in high ticket sales? So the first thing that you have to understand, if you've never ever sold high ticket, and if you're selling high ticket, for a lot of people that have been in this industry, and trust me, I've trained people. I've talked about this before. I've trained people who have paid $12,000, and then they go into the world and they make sales. They've earned the skills. They probably have some innate qualities and skills, but they don't have the strategy, and they make sales. Most of the sales these people make are partial payments, right? So when I train, every single time that I've trained people that have paid thousands of dollars out there for training, and they come and try selling high ticket, they start collecting partial payments. And then I have to take them and show them how to collect 90%, even higher than that, full pay. So if you're selling a $10,000 ticket, you shouldn't be taking $2,000 to see if next month they're going to sell another $2,000 and another $2,000. I had the opportunity when I sold programs to put them through the financial department where people had the ability to make installment payments with a down payment, but I never did that. I don't remember ever, even once, using a finance deal on any of the closes that I've done. And here's the reason why. If someone says that they don't have enough money, or they want you to partake of the risk with them, Why should you partake of the risk? This is their life, not yours. They're the ones that need to make the sacrifice. And if they have credit cards and if they ask you if you have finance or financing, let him just say yes. We do have the financing. And he says, "Great, I'd like to sign up." I said, "Okay, perfect. Let's get your credit card number." We put it through, and they're going to ask you, "Yeah, but you're asking me for my credit card." "Yeah, you have financing right there. You already have the financing." And they say, "No, but I want you guys to do it." One of the things that I tell people is, "Well, listen, nobody's going to do for you what you're not willing to do for yourself." So you're asking us. We've already proven the process. We've already proven that the strategies work. You're the one who's going to prove it to yourself. And you're asking us to take the risk with you when you have all the access to be able to invest into this, but you're asking us to take the risk when you already have financing. Obviously, you're going to have you're going to behave conversational, right? You're not going to be confrontational, but one of the things that I tell people when I'm training is always speak with logic. No one can articulate anything back to you unless they're trying to be smart asses if you're dealing with logic. All right. This is as simple as that. So going back to the point, I help these guys that go from partial payments because let's face it, if you have 5 people that are willing to pay make partial payments towards a program and they have the means to pay, why are you going to leave money on the table when you have the ability, if you have the ability to access their complete commitment to make a full pay or a full commitment to the investment? All right. So you gotta use that. So this is where reverse psychology comes into play. And reverse psychology is nothing else, nothing more than logic. All right. Just most people do not understand what common sense is. We all talk about common sense like it's really common, but it is not common. All right. So I am going to help you guys understand how this game is played and why is it important? Why it is important to do it the right way, so you guys can do it properly. You are collecting a potential customer, towards a high-end offer. And a high-end offer will cost an investment, a considerable amount of money, right? Whether it's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You cannot treat it's so if you sell a car, and of course, if you're selling cars, you're selling high ticket, right? Because you're selling cars for $30,000, $40,000, $60,000. The difference between buying a car and investing is once you buy a car, I don't care if you buy a brand new car or a used car, as soon as you drive that car off the lot, that car is going to lose value. It's going to lose monetary value. That's just the way it is. I think for a brand new car, like if you get a high-end car like a BMW, you pay $100,000. As soon as you drive that car off the lot, you're losing about $10,000, $15,000, right? So you're not going to be able to sell that car for more money than what you bought it. So it's not an investment, right? Now, there are people that turn the purchase of a car into an investment if you lease and all that stuff, but we're not going to talk about it. This is not what we're talking about. Once you invest, and this is how much indoctrinated people are, they're investing into education that will help them make money. So as soon as they turn that investment in, think about it, a car is going to come down in price, right? A mentorship program, if you're dealing with the right people, those $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000, this is what you got to tell your prospect, will be valued at more money because now you are going to acquire the knowledge to be able to multiply that several times, if not thousands of times from that point on, right? So you make a $10,000 investment into, say, for instance, e-commerce store. You learn how to sell stuff online. Now you're making $10,000 a month. How many times did you turn those $10,000 a year 10 times, right? Or 12 times, right? So out of the $10,000 investment, if you learn the right way to do it, you're going to make $120,000 for you profits if you are dealing with the right people. So this is what reverse psychology is, guys. Getting people to understand the back end of life. And most people think that they look at life the right side up, but they're looking at life upside down. So we need to flip the view so they can understand. This is the reason why you have to be posturing. You have to posture yourself as the point of reference, as a point of information, as a point of reasoning and logic, right? So you can command the call and you can be respected by these people. Obviously, you have to offer these people respect. You have to respect their investment. You have to respect their effort. You have to respect their pain. You have to respect their fear. You got to respect it, but not be intimidated, all right? You got to respect their background, but not be intimidated, all right? So you got to make a quick flip between the customer and or the prospect, because they're not customers unless they already purchased something from the company. If that's the case, it's not going to be that much of a hard time, especially if they're executing on the offer. Probably they are already half done. But if it's somebody that never heard of the company, they probably just found out about the company 2 weeks before, maybe even a month ago, then you are going to have to inflict that respect that you deserve by giving them respect, but making them understand we are the experts and we're going to control how this is, because you want to talk to people that can guide you, right? If the people that are supposed to guide you, because a lot of customers, a lot of potential customers or prospects, they come into the call the first time they contact the company, which is going to be you if you're the setter, or if you're an intro closer. Remember, setting and closing are two different parts of the sell, right? If you have a setter, then you're going to be the second contact, but you're going to be the first expert they're going to contact, right? If you're into closing, which is doing the two sections by yourself, you're setting yourself to close the deal yourself, then you're going to be the first point of contact to them. So you are to quickly. I mean, imagine when they come and they ask you to just drop whatever it is that you're doing. A lot of customers will do this. Potential customers will do this. They will ask you to drop whatever it is that you're doing, get to the nitty-gritty, give me the technical information, tell me how much it is. We have a process, and the process ensures that we maintain a reputable name. We need to make sure, and this is the reason why qualifying is so important, right? So you want to make sure that you talk about qualifying. You're here to qualify if we want to help you. I mean, think about this. If you wanted to go to Harvard University, right? You don't just get to go there because you have the money. You have what, $90,000 to be able to pay for the semester, plus registration is probably another $100,000. So $200,000 to get into Harvard University. You got the cash, right? You walk in there with a duffel bag full of money, right? And then what? Just say, I want you to put me in a class right now. I got the money. Just get paid. Put it in your. They're going to say, wait, hold on. We don't take people. We don't take walk-ins. You have to apply, and we have to find out if we really want to be part of Harvard University. This is the reason why it's so important, guys, that you create an air of respect around you and value and posture your company, the company you're working for, not to mention whoever the name brand is, right? If you have a coach who is known by first and last name, you're going to talk about that guy like I hope and I encourage you to always make sure you're working for an ethical company, that you're not wasting your time, you're not screwing people and scamming people on behalf of somebody else. I always make sure that I'm working with people that are ethical, and I know that if I put someone through, they're not going to come back and hit me with a refund, right? So you want to make sure. But this is the Harvard example is perfect for what we do, because they don't take walk-ins. They don't take just people because they have the money. You got to pass several interviews. Well, think of that as who you are in the process. You are a counselor. This is the reason why I encourage people to stop selling. I'm not a salesman in high ticket. I'm a closer. And for that, you above and beyond being a salesperson, you have to become a communicator. Communicators that know how to treat their receptor of a conversation with respect, with an ethical behavior, you are going to have phenomenal success because you're going to have conversations. So it's no longer, I had a conversation, I had a call, just to give you an anecdotal event that happened to me in the course of Friday and Sunday. I think Thursday and Sunday. So I signed up for something, and then all of a sudden somebody calls me, right? I think it was a message that I responded on Facebook, and somebody gave me a call. A guy, and the first thing he says is, Jada, hey, how are you, brother? How's everything doing? I thought it was a little too kind of fresh that he called me brother, but that's okay because he doesn't know me, right? And just to say brother to someone out of the bat is a little bit uncomfortable because I don't know what kind of person I'm talking to, right? I have to finesse the ego of a person that doesn't like to be called brother from the beginning. I need to understand his personality, right? There are people that are a little, I'm not mirroring. I don't mirror people, but I do have to understand personalities and go accordingly, right? So he called me brother. That's fine. I continued to call. And then he was really nice and really never pushed me, just created a rapport, a little bit of small talk to no purpose. I never have small talk without a purpose, right? And we'll talk about that in another live. So I think I mentioned small talk and how not to use small talk. He was becoming my friend, right? He was cool. He was nice. He was a young guy, and he had all the answers. And then he told me, "Hey, you probably don't know what the prices are." And then he called it price. He never called it an investment. I would never call an investment into something that can further the life of someone cost. A TV, a big screen costs money. The acquisition of intellectual property is an investment, right? Especially if you're making money, is to make money. I have some people here, but let me just not interrupt the train of thought, and then I'll address you guys that are here in this live. I would never call it price. Don't call price. Don't say it costs. Always refer to what they're about to inject as far as cash into your program as an investment, because that's what it is. It's an investment. This is not a cost. This is not an expense, right? So he never called it a price, right? He never took anything away from me. He praised my. He looked at my page, my Facebook, and my YouTube channel, and he was saying, "Hey, he was talking about another guy, and he said he's gonna love you, and he's gonna love what you have." I would never give that much of I would never, because if you're trying to feed my ego, and I'm a big prideful guy, I'm gonna take that as in like, so if I already have awesome things, what do I need you for? It seems like I'm doing great things on my own, right? That could be a rebuttal. And once you fall into that category of kind of trying to create rapport, first of all, I don't think the guy was that impressed with what I had. One, because I don't even think he looked at it, to be honest with you. Another huge mistake he made is he was not really listening to me. About 3 times into the call, I kept having to repeat myself to explain something that I had already said, and he kind of heard what I said, but never really. I think what was going on is he had someone on the phone shadowing him, telling him what to say. So he was not really paying attention to me, but paying attention to the guy who was telling. So it's just our tricks that we use. But nonetheless, the guy was not at all prepared to talk to me, especially with me. And I told him, I gave him my background. He should have known. Then by the second call, he set up an appointment right? And here's what reverse psychology is so important. When you guys set up an appointment, never, guys, please take this to the bank. Do not ever just set up an appointment, tell the guy, okay, so we'll give you a call at 4 o'clock. That's not how you set up an appointment. How you set up an appointment, you say, I need you to give me your commitment that you are going to be there. A lot of people like to waste time. Please don't waste my senior director's time. If you are setting for somebody, and if you're setting for yourself, please, one of the things that I have the most respect for is time. I respect your time just as much as I respect my time. Please don't insult me by not showing up. Please don't be driving. Don't be in a crowded place. Be by a desk with a pen and a piece of paper. Please give us 100% of your attention, which is in the way it's the way you show us respect. Whether it works out or it doesn't work out, we're going to give you 100% of what we have. We just need you to be 100% with us. But I need you to be courteous to us. We're going to give you the courtesy and the respect to show up. Can you give us that courtesy and respect? That's how you close an appointment. This is the reason why I'm telling you guys, I don't train people to set up appointments. I train people to set up deals. And that's when you sell deal. When you create importance, especially if it's not your time, as a closer's time, or the senior director, how we call it, you need to make sure that people respect that person's time, and they're not just going to be, 2 days out. By the way, don't create appointments more than 3 days. 3 days is a push. 4 days is just in case you don't have any more recourse. Set it up for 4 days, but that's really pushing it. I never do that unless it has to be an exception. If they tell me I don't have time, I find the time to set it up for the next day or 2 days out. All right, or 2 days or 2 days after. All right. So you need to turn the potential buyer, into the person who's going to pitch you why you guys, just like Harvard University, why should we take you in this Ivy League school? Why do you bring to the table? We create precedents. We create leaders of the world. Why should we take you in? What do you bring to the table to give us enough peace of mind to know that you're not going to break the reputation of this institution? It's the same thing, guys. All right. When I tell people, I tell them we create leaders of their communities. If you're going to be investing in real estate, we are going to make sure you become a tycoon in your area. And why not in the country? Tell me why we should work with you when we're creating massive investors with quality second to none. Give me a reason why, and trust me, they're going to start telling you that they have what it takes, this and that. I go as far as making them promise that they're going to work out the program, even before they have committed to everything. Another mistake that this guy made is when he was kind of frustrated because when he set up the appointment, he never postured me on the appointment. He just said, he's going to give you a call. So I wasn't doing anything. So he calls me. I said, just give me heads up, because the call was going to be at 4 o'clock on Saturday. I said, give me heads up, and so I can be ready. So he gave me a call at 2 o'clock. Hey, I got you. Finally got you the guy. He's going to talk to you. Nick is a great guy, blah, 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 blah. I said, great. No, yeah. Listen, I might be in the car, or because I don't think I'm going to be. Oh, no. You can't be in the car. Okay, is there any way you can go to the office, to your house? I said, no, I'm hanging out with my wife. Yeah, but I thought you were serious about this. Guys, he kept asking me if I was serious. At the end, he asked me the final question. Jaden, are you serious about this? I never knew what he was asking me about. Because if you're selling investment opportunities, guys, you never ask a person if they're serious to talk to your senior director or to be there for the follow-up call. You got to talk to them if they're serious about the most important thing that they have to be serious about for you to proceed, which is their own future, their own life. This is not about real estate. This is not about crypto. This is not about e-commerce, whatever it is that you're selling. What this is about your progress, your success, your family. Are you serious about that? If you would have directed that question like that to me, I would have said, of course I'm serious. and then he would have had me, not by the balls, but he would have had me a little bit more cornered, right? But he never did, and he didn't do a bunch of stuff. And one of the worst things, and one of the things that I tell people is, if you're gonna posture people at the end after you've been this nice guy, you're gonna make a lots of mistake, because I already didn't have I already don't have the respect that you should have earned from me to posture me at the end. Then I'm gonna be like, this guy went from being a nice guy to just talk to me like this. No, go to hell. I'm not gonna talk to you. That's why I didn't tell him to go to hell. I should have. But I told him that I was not going to talk to you. That I was not serious, because I didn't know what he was asking me if I was serious about talking to this guy, and I really wasn't. So you got to be really on top of that game quickly. All right. If you're not the person in the conversation asking the questions, the person in the conversation. That's something but now. The person in a conversation asking the questions is the person who is in control. Let me repeat that one more time, guys. The minute you stop asking questions and they take the baton and ask questions, and you're the one answering the questions, guess who's directing the direction of that call? They are, not you. The person in control of the conversation is not the person who talks the most. Is the person who asks questions. Now, these questions are going to be imperative to sculpt the process of the cell itself, right? You're going to have to be very, very tactful in the way you ask those questions. This is the reason why you have to become respected in that call. They have to look at you like someone who they want to explain things to. I don't explain things to people I don't respect. Like, I don't give explanations. I don't have to explain. Like, I mean, think about it. If you get pulled over by a cop, right, and you made a wrong turn, whatever, for a reason, that police officer has a lot of power over you. So of course you're going to explain to that cop, and you're going to have you want to give him an explanation. So see if you don't get the ticket, right? But if it's just some guy on the street telling you, "Hey, stop your car because you made the wrong," just a random guy, you're going to tell him, "Go to hell. I don't know who you are. I don't have to. Why did you make that turn?" Well, I don't care who you are. I don't have to give you explanations. That's the way. That's why if you're not capable of having the strength and having what do you call this? Having seniority in the way you speak, in order for you to be a 19-year-old who wants to dominate calls, you're going to have to grow up fast. You can't stay high school mentality. You can't stay there. And if you're 40 years old and you're someone who's been bossed around most of your life, you cannot be the guy who gets bossed around. You got to become the opposite of that. You got to be strong. You have to be an alpha creature. You have to be dominating. Don't be an alpha dog. I hate that term because alpha dogs are toxic. They're always looking for trouble. You don't have to be toxic to be aggressive, professionally speaking. All right. We'll talk about that. All right. So let me say hi to some people here. Close, learn. Okay. Let's see. All right. So we got Yoey in the house. Hi, Yoey. Welcome on board. We got Marco. Good evening, Marco. Rose is here. Hi, Jader. Hi. Paul is here. Thank you very much for coming. And another Paula is here as well. Great to have you guys. And awesome that you guys are sharing these 30 minutes with me. I hope this helped. And don't forget, Black Label Closers is an organization to help people become exceptional high-ticket sales people. You can go to school, skool.com, sign up for the free course. You can purchase a $97 program, value at $1,000, giving you a lot of value there. And if you really want to put your money where your mouth is, you become my partner. We split 50-50 the profits. I'll explain how that works once you reach out to me. All right. Also go to Black Label, www.blacklabel-closers.com. And you can watch the testimonials there and come every Tuesday and Thursday here on YouTube for your open house training to help you get to where you want to be and get you to your goal quickly. You can start making averaging $300,000 within the next 3-4 months. All right. So don't miss a chance. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. See you next Thursday.